I've got some things I've still got to work on this. Ejection sequence is a little off. The feeding sequence is a little off. It's dropping the carrier too soon. Yeah, it's dropping the carrier too soon. Well, there's still some work that's got to be done on this particular gun. And now I think we know why it got abandoned, because we've done all of this work to get back to a point where we have an alibi. I basically single loaded it. The last time I looked, this thing wasn't as sharps. It's a Colt Burgess, so let's get back in the shop and figure out why we can't rock this thing. While we were running it, we identified 3 problems. The obvious feeding problem, there was an extraction and ejection issue, and there was an intermediate problem where I noted that the carrier was falling. Let's go from the easy to the hard. Remember that little spring? We didn't know what it did. We were wondering why it was pushing up on the bolt. Because it was upside down. It should have been pushing on a little slot in the back of the carrier. So that's the first thing that got fixed. The ejection problem was what I thought was a firing pin liner, and I should have known better, is actually the ejector is annular around the firing pin. So the V-spring in this shot is engaging in a small slot and pushing forward. This thing had all been rusted in the slag, broke it all loose, got it running, and it now works, as you're about to see. The third problem was there's a missing part, and I went looking all over for a picture of the inside of a Burgess, and I never found one. Well, apparently, a long time ago, Uberti repopped this gun for a very short period of time, and thank God there was a spare parts drawing. On that spare parts drawing, I blew it up, and there was a fuzzy, nasty outline of the piece that kind of, all right, so what we're missing is something that intercepts the cartridge as the lifter rises, and what gets it out of the way? A lot of reverse engineering later, we figured out that when you bring the finger lever all the way to the top, it allows the next round to go by, and that spits onto the carrier. The projection on the front of the bolt keeps it from going all the way to the rear until you open the action again. The round follows, but this piece is already popped back up, intercepts the next cartridge, and you shuck it. And that looks something like this. That's better. Now cue the sonorous exit music.